Alright, we're back on gaming. Let me say this right now. Fuck these people. And I say this about anti-Gamergate because, once again, they have shown no regard for human life whatsoever. We saw last week when that developer, that transgender developer killed themselves, and they tried to use it as a platform. We've seen in the past they try to use other tragedies as a platform. So let's start today with the Gamergate meetup in DC with the bomb threats. Alright? Now, for those who don't know, when this bomb threat happened, the IGDA, because they have a sector in DC, they mocked this. Yes. So now that's what we're doing now. We are mocking people's lives, who are being threatened by bombs. Or, they're mocking people in this community. Because you gotta think, it is a bunch of gamers getting together and talking and learning from each other. That's what it is. Okay? That's what the Gamergate meetup was. It's not just about, you think that they're just going to sit and talk about Gamergate the entire time for hours and hours? You know how many people were there? Hundreds. And for anyone to think that that's okay, and to say, because, by their, anyone saw on their, I believe their, their Facebook, and their comments in, I believe it was in Kotaku, they were saying, well, maybe they were just counting people who were walking by on the street. It's not that big of a deal. Bomb threats aren't that big of a deal. So, let me get this straight. When Anita was having death threats and going to conventions, which they, when they checked out with the police, and they said, hey, this is something that, it's really not feasible. We don't see any proof of these threats. And then you say, well, that needs to be checked out, and that's a shame, every life matters. And then a bomb threat is said to said group that you don't like, or you disagree with, and all of a sudden, it's justifiable. Is that what we're doing here? Is that what we're doing here? And here's the thing, alright? Because of their sector in DC, for those who saw, what they were saying, they're like, we gotta do something about all these gamers getting together and talking. Because that's what it is. They want to do something about gamers getting together and talking. They said, well, we can take to Twitter. That's your answer? That's your answer. Take to Twitter. Not, let's go down there and talk to them. Because you know what? Knowing you're trying to get so extreme these days, you probably wouldn't talk to them. You'd probably go down there and hold a protest knowing you. Instead of just talking to people. But no. You're too fucking afraid to even see somebody face to face. So what do? Take to Twitter. Take to Twitter. Oh, we're going to write a letter to, the heads of the IGDA. Are you serious? You're going to write a letter. That's for gamers, a bunch of gamers getting together, you're going to write a letter. Unfucking real. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Look, you cannot sit here and make fun and mock a bomb threat being said because you put it like this. If you were so, for women getting kicked out of the Calgary Expo simply because they put up a couple of pictures that said, say no to censorship, if that triggers you enough, a bomb threat, and you're going to say, okay. Now look, I'll put it like this. A bomb threat was deployed. Now, you have to understand, here in Philadelphia, even in elementary school, we had a lot of bomb threats. And what would they do? For those who remember, if you got a bomb threat in school, they'd get everyone together, form a single line. They would take you outside for X amount of, probably half hour, whatever, while people, check the school. And you stood out in front of the school as if there was a bomb in the school and exploded, all right? That the shrapnel wouldn't hit the kids. But guess what? They wouldn't take you across the street or anything or away from. No, they sit you right in front of the school. That's what they did, okay? But there was never a bomb. So as far as I'm concerned, we're used to these type of bomb threats. However, when you sit there and you threaten X amount of hundreds of people, and then the only thing that some people were saying was, it's a shame that that establishment let them have that meetup there. That's your comment. It's the only thing that you can say through all that. And then we saw people like Arthur Chu, who, he was saying how he wanted to try and stop it. Look, if you're going to say something like that, Arthur Chu, and, this ends tonight or whatever, I'll put it like this, Arthur Chu, okay? Because, Arthur Chu, he quit Twitter for all of 12 hours and then came back. That's what they do, right? Because, like I said, that's the only way they are relevant. I'll put it like this. Arthur Chu, if you think you have the heart to stop somebody from meeting up, I suggest you do it face-to-face on your own. Let's see how big of a person you are, okay? Let's see how tough of a person you are, that you're just going to stop people that you feel you disagree with. God forbid people meet up, right? It would be okay if you met up with Zoe and Anita and y'all had a nice little crowd and y'all talked, right? That's okay. But if anyone else was to meet up that you don't like, then it's a problem. I don't think so. You should be ashamed of yourself. Every time y'all speak like this, y'all show how much fucking cowards y'all really are. I'm sick of this shit. I really am. And Josh Whedon, let's talk about Josh Whedon. Yeah, I love this. Gotta love this. So Josh Whedon comes out with Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm sure a number of people saw it. I haven't seen it simply for the fact that, he compared a lot of people to the KKK, which is ridiculous. And let me speak on that real quick, alright? Understand, especially here in Philadelphia, the KKK, they still have rallies here. Yes, they still have rallies. And guess what? There's never a bomb threat for them. So let me get this straight. The KKK can have their rallies and speak, and never a threat, a bomb threat whatsoever. But if gamers want to talk about video games, then we need to have bomb threats. In ethics, then we need to have bomb threats set, right? Right? It's childish as fuck. And I only say it simply for the fact that they keep comparing Gamergate to the KKK. That's why. So, Josh Whedon, what did you learn? Because for those who don't understand what happened, after Age of Ultron came out, I won't say Anita, but Macintosh and all these other SJWs, they bagged on Whedon. They harassed him to the point where he quit Twitter. That's what he did. Now, we're hearing today that he really didn't quit Twitter. He just stopped to write something or something. I don't know, all right? But I'll put it like this. If you're going to quit Twitter, stay off it. Don't come back. Don't. But we tried to tell you, did we not, Josh Whedon? We tried to tell you, these are the people that you don't want to, support. You even took pictures with Anita. Oh. And then you had Macintosh come out and bury you. And everyone listened to their idiocy and buried you. It got to the point where Felicia Day came out and said, you know what, this is wrong. This should not be happening when it comes to, harassing Josh Whedon off Twitter. And guess what they did? They went after her ass too. So who's really the harassers here? You keep saying that Gamergate is, but you go and do it yourselves. I told you, you are no better than those you judge. It's fucking pathetic. And everybody wants to, like I said before, everyone wants to be treated like an adult. Nobody really wants to act like one. And that's pretty sad. However, that's not all. Let's talk about Anita. Because for those who don't know what I'm talking about, and I talked about just Arthur Chu not too long ago, Anita Sarkeesian came out on Twitter and actually promoted him. That's right. Check out this tweet. You promoted a bigot and a fucking racist in Arthur Chu. Thank you, Anita. Yeah, thank you, Anita, for showing your true colors. You've got to be fucking kidding me if you think that's okay. I want to know, alright? Because we've seen the things that Arthur Chu has said on Twitter. There's no doubt about it, okay? But I want to know for everyone who supports Anita, I have to ask you this question. When did it become okay to let that shit slide? In a community where we have so many diverse backgrounds, when did that become okay? Equality, though. Get the fuck out of my face with this bullshit. This is what I'm talking about. You cannot tell me that for some reason we're just going to let that go because I put it like this. Gamergate, if they go to any expo, we should ban them from anything, alright? But you're going to let a racist and a bigot like Arthur Chu even have his own fucking panel at MagFest. You've got to be kidding me. But for some reason, we're not talking about that. No. If we just want to talk about Gamergate and harassment in general, we've seen what Arthur Chu has said. Like I said, I really want Arthur Chu to say something to somebody's face. I want to see just how big of a person he thinks he is. Because we know that he won't say shit. Just like 99% of the rest of these fucking idiots. I want to know the justifiable cause for letting that slide. Unless you're just fucking stupid. You don't see how hurtful that could be to other people? Do you not see that? Or do you not care? Because if you don't care, then don't get on your high horse and start talking about morals. Don't do that. I really want to know. I want them to answer that for me. Because that's bullshit. You know that. There's no getting around that shit. Alright? But let's keep going about Anita. Now she tells you that you don't have a choice when it comes to feminism. No, Anita, I'm getting real tired of your fucking arrogance and people like you as well. Alright? Because I want to read this. Because you're telling people they don't have a choice, right? That's what you're saying. I want to read this. Feminism is about a collective liberation of women as a social class. Feminism is not about personal choice. Okay, I want to get that out of the way. So you're telling me, Anita, that not one man, not one, has helped any type of woman in this case. So I guess Macintosh shouldn't be allowed to say anything. Arthur Chu shouldn't be allowed to say anything. Movie Bob shouldn't be allowed to say anything. Chris Cluey shouldn't be allowed to say anything. Or any guy who follows you and believes that there should be equality for women They shouldn't be allowed to talk. Because this is supposed to be a liberation of women as a collective. Of women as a collective. Women as a collective. That's what you're saying. Just women. Tits or get the fuck out. That's what you're saying. Now, I will say this. You're absolutely wrong, because I guarantee you, if you go out in the real world and you tell a woman that they don't have a fucking choice, as if this is law, you know what a woman's going to say to you? Fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay? Because when you fight for equality, what you're doing is segregating people. And I say this because you're doing it as gender. You fail to realize when it comes to equality, it's not about just women. It's about everyone. Alright? Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, man, woman, does not matter. Equal rights for everyone across the board. So for you to sit here and say, I'm going to focus on simply just women, you actually make yourself look like a fucking idiot. And I don't care who thinks that's wrong. Because if this is about, like I said, equality, and it's supposed to be for everyone socially, then I advise that you stop with this bullshit. Because who the fuck are you to say that people don't have a choice? Alright? If that's the case, I guess we can start making law now. You know, well, racism is wrong. You don't have a choice. You're not allowed to be racist. But guess what? People are going to tell you, well, I choose to be racist, so fuck you. That's what they're going to say. People are going to say, I choose to be sexist, so fuck you. That's what they're going to say. Is it right? No. But that's their choice. And with those choices come consequences. You understand that. Who the fuck are you? I want to know who the fuck you think you are to say such a thing. That's arrogance for you. You should be ashamed of yourself for even trying to push that. And I understand that you're going to keep saying that type of thing because you need to stay in the spotlight. You need those naive people to believe that because if it's about a collective of women, you are automatically alienating all the men. The very same men that have helped you get to where you are today. Hello, Macintosh. Guess you done cut Whedon out too, huh? You know, you just had to go take a picture with him, right? You want to go meet him because you're such fangirl of Buffy and all this. Yep, you'd be cutting him out too. It's not just about a collective of liberated women. It never has been. It's about people of all walks of life coming around and saying, hey, look, this is wrong, let's correct it. But yet, you're so fucking small-minded. You think you're so fucking smart and you're not. That you can't even see that. And you want to know why? Because you live in your fucking bubble. That's why. You're not out here in real life talking to people. Like I said, I want to see one fucking time, where these people like Anita and Brianna Wu and Lee Alexander, they're actually talking to people. And I don't mean at a fucking convention. I don't mean at a panel. Fuck those panels. Because as we know, if anyone disagrees with them at a panel, it could be a handful of people. Guess what? They're going to be kicked out, so you're preaching to the choir. That's what you're doing. It makes no sense. It's a revolving door that goes nowhere. You have no progression, progressives. But yet no one wants to see that. It's amazing how we can have all these groups and people can act like they're fighting for what's right. And then you see the nasty shit that comes out of their mouths. Or what they type on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And you have to ask yourself, why the fuck should I take you seriously? Why should I? And then they get upset. No one's going to take us serious. We have to get more people, more numbers, because if we have strength in numbers, that means that we can overcome this. That's not how it works. It's not about strength in numbers all the time. Sometimes it's about saying what's right and attracting the right people. Not just about grabbing a herd of people and saying, hey, look, I got all these people with me. Yeah, but how many of them are about quality? You have to look at that. And that's what it is. It's quality over quantity. And not once yet have I seen this. It's always been about the payday. Always. It's ridiculous. And to stay in relevancy. Stay relevant. Right? It's bullshit. And if these people really did act like this in the real world, do you realize how fucked up people would be? Do you realize that? You can't tell me you're going to get mad because a person claims they were harassed out of their house and then you see them in pictures on Twitter, alright, having dinner and buddying it up and all this. Yeah, you look really harassed. You look like you're really in distress. Get the fuck out of my face, this bullshit. You know what? Let's move on, man. Just fucking move on. Fucking pathetic people. Stop falling for bullshit. I mean, seriously, if you fall for one fucking lie of them, you're going to fall for a bunch of them. Wake up. I want to move on to EA and their bullshit. And their bullshit! EA! Star Wars Battlefront expects to sell 9 to 10 million units. They expect those units to sell. And you know what? They may just do it. They're starting to sound a little bit like Capcom, aren't they? Where they expect a certain amount of units. They just come out publicly and say it. And then when it fails, they lower the units. They lower the expectations. We've seen this time and time again. But I say that it's possible that it may happen because Star Wars fans will buy anything pretty much Star Wars related. And I say this due to the fact that we saw what happened when they came out with that Star Wars MMO. And I said, this is not going to turn out well. Don't do it. And what happened? Star Wars fans went and did it. And then we saw a number of bugs, a number of glitches, and a number of just problems in general with that game. But Star Wars fans stuck with it, even though it came with a monthly fee. They did not. Okay. And as we know, overall, people still feel that game is trash. But, doesn't matter. We've seen Star Wars fans come out and, speak against it and say, hey, look, this is bullshit. And what happened? They got buried. Fanboys buried them. I keep telling you, fanboys are the worst. They're the worst. However, I see that within this game as well. I do. Because, let's be honest here, alright? When it comes to taking a franchise and trying to milk it, when you have fans of that franchise, they're going to flock to it. We know that. This is why you see Star Wars cups and branding and things of that nature. It's not just that. It's not just putting it on cups and things of that nature. It's also making deals with, say, like McDonald's or Target or whatever. And they brand it. I mean, hell, we just saw May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Branding. That's branding. You understand that, right? So, yes, you're going to have your fans that come out and flock to things. Even though at one point it wasn't cool to do those type of things, but the companies have pretty much got you by the gonads, so you're going to just go with it. It's pretty much how it works, right? That's how I see things. I'll talk about more about franchises and being milked later. All right, this should be coming up very soon. But I want to talk about fighting games. I want to talk about MKX. Now, a lot of people had said, especially in the comments last week, Event, you didn't talk about MKX and the problem with the PC. I didn't think I needed to talk about it due to the fact that I thought that was common knowledge. I thought we knew that. But, okay, MKX has problems with the PC. And the PC version of it has had so many problems that they've had to put out a patch for it, right? So, not too long ago, they put out a patch for online stability and things of that nature to fix the PC, the problems on the PC. And then we found out the patch didn't help, but it hurt even more. Because it started erasing save data. That's right. And when these things were reported, what happened? They had to pull the patch immediately because of the fact that it was having all these problems. So, you rushed the patch for the PC version, and, and this really pisses me off because to this day, I still see commercials for MKX. And this is the thing, it's not just buy MKX. Now it's the best-selling game of such and such on this console or whatever. The best-selling fighting game. This is what I'm seeing now. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you can spend the money to advertise and push that with all the problems. But I keep forgetting that's what WB Games does best. That's what they do. They sit and they'll promote. We saw what happened with Batman Origins. And you still promote that. And you just forgot about the patches for that game. Alright. Whatever. Let's keep moving on. Oh, you'll love this. Horror Pack skins for Reptile, Ermac, and Mileena are available. Yeah, because you should buy some more stuff. Even though they're having problems with their game. Yeah, that's how it works. Also, I want to talk about one Justin Wong. For those who don't know what happened not too long ago, Justin Wong was playing online. Now, a lot of people like Justin Wong. They think he's a nice guy, whatever. However, Justin Wong went on to troll an 8-year-old in Mortal Kombat X. Let's see exactly what happened.
Okay, that's a cheat move. That's a cheat move.
Welcome to the real world! Time to learn! You're gonna learn today!
Right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a cheat move.
Round 2, fight.
You're gonna learn today!
No, you're not. You're using a cheat move. No, you're using a cheat move. No, you're cheating.
You're gonna learn! This is the real world! You learn it early, son!
That's all you ever do in your house? I'm done playing now.
Finish him.
You're a freaking jerk. All you keep doing is that. That's freaking not fair. That's all you're gonna do.
Jax wins. Flawless
How is that?
victory.
I'm done. I swear I am done.
I'm going to hell, guys. Guys, I'm going to fucking hell. Oh my god, I'm going to hell. I'm going to fucking hell. Oh my god.
Now look, a part of me feel that is pretty damn funny, okay? But it is an 8-year-old. And you should know better than that, especially for a person like Justin Wong. Let me say this right now. If you're going to say, you're going to learn today, son, no, say it right. You going to learn today. That's how you say it, Justin Wong. But look, the fact is, it is an 8-year-old. Now, for what I've seen, I'll put the link in the info bar to people of an article that highlighted this. A lot of people are very upset. They're saying it was a dick move by Justin Wong. They're saying that if he's so good, he should have just wrecked the kid regularly. He shouldn't have let the kid win because why would you just let an 8-year-old win? But also, people are pointing out that why is there an 8-year-old playing this game online anyway? Bad parenting, that's what they're saying. There's a number of comments that take aim at Justin Wong about being a very bad person. And even the person who wrote the article said, even though Justin Wong is trolling, he's a very nice guy. That's what they said. As you can see, Justin Wong himself said, he's like, I'm going to hell. He's like, no, he's like, I'm just going to hell for that, you know what I mean? It really makes you think the consequences that's going to happen with this. Maybe this 8-year-old will keep playing. Maybe he's going to be, you never know. 8-year-old could have, after it got off, he could have quit and cried. He could have said, I'm never playing video games again. You never know where this is going to go when you do, things like this, especially to a kid so young. So, I think the biggest thing that we really should focus on here is, why the hell is there an 8-year-old playing online to begin with? All right, first, because that breaches the terms of service. You have to be a certain age in order to be online, number one. So the parents, look, that 8-year-old didn't put that together himself. Obviously, the parents had to help him get online. Bottom line, okay? Not to mention M-rated game, M for mature. We all know how that goes. So a lot of people can say, well, that 8-year-old deserved that he shouldn't be online anyway. A lot of people say that. What's sad about this is the fact that, even though, like I said, I feel it's kind of funny, there's so many people that were just like, it's not just laugh out loud, you're trolling him, but that kid deserved what he got, blah, blah, blah. He's 8. He's 8. What do you mean he deserved what he got? He don't know what the hell he was getting himself into. You saw all he did was spam rockets, spam the bazooka. And the kid's like, is this all you do is sit at home and play all day? Should we even touch that one? Should we even touch that one? Okay. Pro gamers though, right? Like, this is what I mean. There's a hint of truth in all the jest. There is. And like I said, I'll leave it up to you to decide what it is. Like I said, I thought it was kind of funny. I really did. Because I remember even back then, when kids would play in arcades, or even Electronics Boutique, where kids would match up with the employees, and the employees would get on the kids when they beat them. Like, it was really funny. But the thing is, the kids would talk so much trash that you couldn't feel bad for them. This kid is still talking trash the entire time. So you can't feel but too bad for him, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many factors at play when it comes to this. So I'll just let you, let you have your own decision. You have your own choice. You have a choice whether you like it or not. A choice. So I'm going to say on that. However, I want to move on, and I want to talk about Jason. DLC for Jason. Now, I got a chance, the privilege to watch Jason in action, all right? I got to see the fatalities, the brutalities. I got to see the gameplay. I got to see exactly what they were going to do with the actual design of the character and things of that nature. Saw on stream, saw on YouTube as well. So there's a couple things I need to talk about on Jason due to the fact that I felt that they missed the mark on Jason when it comes to designing him. Alright, now I'll put it like this. I shouldn't just say designing, just gameplay in general. I want to say now, before I get started, that I'm a big fan of Jason Voorhees. Anybody who knows, especially following me on Twitter, I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th. I have the collection. I've been a fan since I was a kid. Alright? So, horror movies is something I love. What I saw, it disappointed me. I'm not going to say it was, it's so bad that you shouldn't get it, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that. But it is disappointing. I'll explain. First, I want to talk about the character design. First off, the default outfit is absolutely atrocious. Alright? The one you have to press start for, the one that's all black that has slashed up, slashed up jacket, shirt, and blood all over the pants, that is a hell of a lot better than the default one. It's a lot better. However, and I wrote some of these things down, I typed some of these things down in the screen because I want to talk about this. There should have been a number of outfits that came with Jason. And I say this due to the fact that I want to talk about Friday 13th Part 7. I feel as though that outfit should have been in the game. I feel as though, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about the one where he comes from out of the water and his body is decayed, and you can actually see his spine and his ribs sticking out of his outfit because his outfit is pretty much tattered to shreds. That one should have been in the game, as far as I'm concerned. Also, I would have liked to see, as a joke, them put the Jason X outfit in the game as well. Okay? There's a number of outfits that Jason could have had that would have made this great, and you still stuck with that bland default outfit. It's absolutely, it's an eyesore as far as I'm concerned. We talked about this last night, when we talked about it in the chat, especially during the stream. Verse screen. Let's talk about this now, okay? Verse screen. When you have two competitors facing off and they both go the opposite way, if you ask me, and a number of people said in the stream, and I believe Preon said it as well, because I believe it was his initial idea, and a lot of us was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. When a competitor walks away, Jason shouldn't have walked away. If anything, Jason should have went the other way. He should have followed, because that's what Jason does. He stalks. So it would have been great to see Jason actually follow the competitor. You know, that would have been really great to see. But once again, it's the little things that they fall apart on. Now, I want to talk about mechanics of the game. Fighting mechanics, really don't have much of a problem with. It's still weird to see Jason jump, but you got to get used to it because it's a fighting game. They're going to jump. But what I saw on one board really disgusted me, and I saw Jason do a Chun-Li wall jump and flip over the guy, and I'm like, no way, no way, no, it's Jason, no. It's one thing to jump, but then to the wall jump and flip over your guy, no way. However, I will say the mechanics of this game when it comes to gameplay, the way they built Jason is, I feel that's the way to go about it. You know what I mean? Sometimes he can be an unstoppable tank with his buffs. There's times, like I said, there's the way they went about his combos and things of that nature, I'm okay with. I am. However, I want to talk about sub-weapons, something that they missed out on. Because Jason, as you know, has killed people with a number of weapons. A number of them. And it seems like all they stuck with was the bare basics. Like I said, it feels like a default. The machete. That's all they give you. Machete slash, machete throw. That's what they give you. We have seen Jason kill people with gun spears. We've seen him kill people with weed whackers. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's the first thing you think when you think crazy guy in a hockey mask is crazy guy in a hockey mask with a chainsaw. You could have used these weapons to work towards his advantage when it came to use them as sub-weapons to link into combos. There's also the chain, which was not used, which really upsets me because you could have used that in a variation. Because for those who don't know, Jason has the chain around his neck, all right? That's the chain that's broken from Friday the 13th, Part 7. All right? I believe is it 6 and 7 it was broke? I can't remember right now. But definitely in 7 where it was broke, where Tina the Psychic broke him out of that chain, and he keeps it around his neck. All right? So let's understand one thing. When that happens, you can use that chain, especially in one of his variations, because he has a very brutal variation without weapons. You can use that chain as a grab. You know what I mean? I would have thought that they would have used Jason more like the Joker in Injustice, where he digs into his bag of tricks to link combos. That's how I would have saw things. But apparently, to get that little bit of nostalgia going. But they didn't do that. Now I want to say this. I do feel as though they did hit some of the marks. Some of them. The lightning breaker, which, for those who don't know, that's how he comes back from time to time. When Jason falls and rounds over and the lightning hits him and he sits up, and it's like, and then you hear the music. They did a good job with that. I felt as though, even though he has a teleport in the mist, I felt that's a good way to get around projectiles. It works in his favor. However, how many characters need a teleport? How many? It works for Jason the way they did it, but there's so many characters that have a teleport, it's ridiculous. Crystal Lake. There's no board for it. That has to be a bonus stage. If you're going to charge this for DLC as a character, especially a novelty character like Jason Voorhees, he deserves his own board. You have to have that. We already talked about multiple costumes. I want to talk about friendships and fatalities and things of that nature. Friendships, I would have loved to have seen Jason have a friendship where, and for those who don't know, when Jason goes to Manhattan, or New York, whatever you want to call it, where he gives you, he puts out the boombox, and that's the friendship, and then he kicks the shit out of the boombox, for those who know what I'm talking about, alright? Also, I would have loved to see, a friendship with him and his mom. That would have been really great, especially for those who don't know, I believe Betsy Palmer died not too long ago. So, yeah, rest in peace to Betsy Palmer. It's kind of sad. Also, in one of his variations, they used the dream state. For those who don't know, Jason kind of like cracks his neck and everything turns red. And for those who don't know, that is from Jason versus Freddy. All right, red dream state where Freddy pretty much owned the hell out of Jason in the red dream state. What it does to your character, the opponent, is that it mixes up the person's controls. So up is down, down is up, left is left is right, right is left. Every button you hit is different as opposed to what it should be. It discombobulates you. However, the character I feel as though that's kind of like, that's really not a Jason thing, unless they're trying to say they're paranoid you so much with fear that you can't do anything. It's kind of a rough interpretation of what it should be, as opposed to if you watch the movies and you see what it is, it's like, okay, that's from Freddy vs. Jason. I want to talk about fatalities. I'm just writing down this list here that, like I said, these are things that I've noticed when I was watching last night. I felt fatalities were done very sloppy. I thought they were horrible. There's one where there's almost like a cinematic scene where your character looks up, he's like, ah, and then Jason slashes him, which would have worked if you'd have had the before part where the character tries to run away and then trips and then turns and looks up and then Jason slashes him, because, like I said, it's the little things. Hell, we've seen Jason, was in part 7, Jason killed a woman with a party horn. He stuck it right through her eye. So you can always still have a bit of comedy and kind of weird nuances in Jason that still work because they've effectively worked in the movie. You know what I mean? Also, sleeping bag fatality. I'm absolutely disgusted with this. It's not actually a sleeping bag. He grabs you and just slams you around till your limbs fall apart. That's actually supposed to be the sleeping bag, where in the movies, for those who don't know, the person was in a sleeping bag and he slammed it against a tree, and he slammed it against the wall, ground. That's what he's supposed to do. And they failed on that. I guess, I don't know if they just, they didn't have the money or they didn't have the time to do it, but they really failed on that fatality. However, I want to say this now. The fatalities are pretty horrendous, but the brutalities are amazing. They are amazing. And I say this due to the fact that Jason is already as brutal as it is. I've seen 5 brutalities from Jason. I'll say 4 out of those 5 brutalities work very well with the character. And I want to talk about his backbreaker brutality. It is very nice. Double backbreaker. How he not just breaks you in half, but just how gory it is. And he just tosses you aside. And the blood actually goes up on the mask and everything. That works. It works really well. Also, Jason has a go to hell one. For those who don't know Freddy vs. Jason, where Jason cuts off Freddy's head, go to hell brutality. Works really well. They did a good job on that. Also, the shoulder block brutality, where you shoulder block and knocks the person's head off, absolute ass. Absolute ass. Off a shoulder block, and it's not even a really hard shoulder block either. I saw that and was absolutely disgusted. That's the only brutality I feel does not work out of this group of brutalities. Jason punches your head off brutality. Works very well. Within the combo that if you can get it going, it works really well because, as we saw, Jason, he knocked people's heads off before with just one punch. We've seen this in the movies. It works. Also, Jason's upper body split brutality works really well. Takes the knife, runs it all the way up you. And I think as though that screams Jason as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, the things that you see with NetherRealm, what they did to make Jason, I think that they understand slashers, but they don't understand Jason just much because they don't give you enough of that franchise feel. Like I said, if you're going to milk a franchise and give people nostalgia because they're coming to them for nostalgia, and then you skip out on that nostalgia, then it doesn't work. That's how I feel. They understand slashers. If you play Jason, you play just regular Jason, you can swap him with any type of slasher like Michael Myers and say, yep, that's Michael Myers. Instead of, yep, that's Jason, because the way they built it, the unstoppable, machine just keep coming, it works. But you didn't give them enough to say, this person has that personality of Jason Voorhees. It sticks out as the franchise. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to say that's horrible. I say it's a work in progress. And for them to charge for that character without a bonus stage, without all these things that could have been, to make Jason Jason, I kind of feel they kind of half-assed it. However, if you're still going to buy it, go ahead. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still enjoyable to watch the character and watch people play as the characters or play as the character. But I feel as though they could have did so much more for your money. They could have. They could have put quality into this. So I'm pretty disappointed to see what they did with Jason Voorhees. Okay? Now, I want to move on to more, fighting news. Soulcalibur. That's right. Soulcalibur developer is prepping for something huge. And they want to know who your favorite character is. So if you're interested and you're a Soulcalibur fan, by all means, check out the link in the info bar. Okay? Also, Nintendo is apologizing for Amiibo shortages. That's right. They're saying that they promised better communication. Fuck off, Nintendo. Fuck off. I say this due to the fact that you knew damn well what you were doing when you had those shortages for Amiibos. You knew. You wanted to create a frenzy. You wanted people to run out and buy them so quickly. You don't give me this bullshit that you're going to apologize all of a sudden for it. No, you did this with the Wii when it first came out. Now you're doing it with the Amiibo. Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to hear it. Also, in esports news, alright? Mobile esports. That's right. Super Evil Megacorp and ESL are starting a Vainglory Cup. You'll have to bring your tablets and everything and actually play mobile esports. That's what they're calling it now. People, I don't know. Also, in some kind of disturbing news, right? And they made sure to highlight this part too in the article. Christian video game developer creates Kill The Faggot light gun game. It says targets gay and transgender. And the thing is, I'll put the link in the info bar where you can see it. And they show where when you kill it, it says kill, transgender hunt or whatever. You do understand, people, this is how problems happen. And look, I get it that, people want to say, well, it's your freedom, it's your choice to make that game. People shouldn't be censored. When you are targeting a specific place, I'll put it like this. We saw with Resident Evil 5. It's racist. We saw that, didn't we? When you target a specific group of people just to kill them, and it's not, hey, I can just, I'll kill everyone. Apparently, the article highlights that the game, like I said, Kill The Faggot. And if you kill gay and transgender people, you will be rewarded. Now, mind you, people, I want to say this now. This was on Steam. Steam pulled it already. However, this game is still available in other outlets. You can still get it. I think that this is something that really needs to be looked at as, look, it's almost like West Baptist, West Baptist, the Barrow Church or whatever, Westboro Baptist Church. It's times like these, especially when you have everything that's going on. I'm not saying that you have to be so sensitive, because I've said before, when they came out, what was that, not too long ago, that, was it Rage or whatever the hell it was called? I don't know what the fuck it was called. It's been so long already, where the guy was just killing people left and right, and they purposely did it, and then people wanted it pulled off Steam. I forgot the fucking name of the game. I forgot. That quick. Anyways, it doesn't matter what the game was called. I said, we've seen worse, and, he's killing everyone equally. And we're going to say, oh, it's just homicide. This is something that, what they're making it seem as, focuses on a specific group. And we know that's not right. You can't do that. That's absolutely ridiculous. But I guarantee there's somebody going to say in some weird, twisted type of fun that that's acceptable. At one point, you really have to ask yourself, if you're going to say we shouldn't have censorship, and then turn around and say, hey, look, that's wrong. Should we have censorship? Should we? And I'm saying this not just for the fact of a game. I'm saying this also within our community as well. We see a lot of people say a lot of nasty things, and people say, that's morally wrong. Don't say that. You're a piece of shit for saying that. And you want them censored. We've seen people's videos get taken down simply because people want censorship. We see this all the time. So, do we really want censorship, or do we not? Because or does there need to be guidelines? Should there be structure? Because if you're saying there shouldn't be censorship, then you're opening the gate for everything. You understand that, right? And it'll offend everybody. And I'm sure there's going to be people who say, well, I don't care who it offends. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to say that. There's a lot of people who say that. But then there's also the fact that, because they're just games, but there's also the fact that there's going to be people who take it too seriously and say, I'm okay with this, you shouldn't be offended unless, it offends you personally. And then you're going to see people, the same people say that, get on Twitter and then start saying offensive stuff or say, I'm offended by this. You know what I mean? Everyone has, I think, a trigger mechanism, trigger warning. Everyone has a point where they say, okay, this is going too far. I think we can all agree with that. I think we can. And I also feel as though this is something that really needs to be talked about. I don't see the IGDA coming out and saying anything about this. No. They're too busy worried about, shutting down meetups as opposed to taking care of things that's going on in gaming. You see this not too long ago. You know what? Speaking of more problems in gaming, let's talk about Batman, Arkham Knight. Now, I didn't cover it last week, and a lot of people seem to have been disappointed that I didn't cover it last week. I mean, seriously, they came out with a season pass, and a lot of sites came out and was like, don't buy the season pass. They said this. And every time I say, wait for a Game of the Year edition, do I not? I say that. Now, WB Games again. They're going to hit you with more DLC. Let's look at what they promoted not too long ago. So Batgirl is coming, so everyone's going to flock and buy the DLC. I've already seen people, I can't wait, I gotta have it right now. Please, people, wait for the Game of the Year edition. I mean, did you not learn from Shadow of Mordor? Seriously, I don't think I need to say more about this Game of the Year edition today. You know what's going to happen. Like I said, Game of the Year edition. Oh, there it goes again. So, let's move on. All right, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is coming to the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Xbox 360. And for so far, what I've heard, it's not coming to the Wii U. But for people who are going to say, well, the Wii U's being shafted again, actually, I don't know if you'd want this game anyway, due to the fact that the people who are making this game are the same ones, for what we're hearing, the same ones who made the last one, and that was kind of messed up. So no one really has, they're not very excited about this. They're kind of skeptical on how this is going to play out, just to let you know. Also, Dead Island 2 has been delayed. The developers are not happy with what they're bringing out so far, so they're going to push it back and work on it some more. So that seems like they're having some, some quality issues, and they see, that this needs to be fixed. I'm actually okay with that, due to the fact that that's what it should be. If there's issues, take your time, make the game, don't rush out the game and then say, we'll patch it later. That's bullshit. So they're doing the right thing. Also, we want to talk about Silent Hill. I have to talk about this. Over 71,000 people signed a petition that they wanted to bring back Silent Hill. They wanted to be revived. Silent Hills, as we know, was canceled. Right? But that's not all. No, Konami, you got to be a real dick about this, don't you? Now, as we know, they pulled, PT from the network. We know that. But people still had it on their system, the demo on their system. Then we find out that the demo can expire after a certain amount of time. Now, we've seen this as of late when it comes to demos expiring. I want to say this now for those who didn't see it at the bottom part, because it says you have 220 days, I believe, till that demo expires. That's bullshit. All of a sudden, we're seeing a lot of demos, expire. I still have PS1 demos here. Oh, I forgot. Hard copy, so I can play it anytime I damn well please. That's right, when it comes to a demo. But as long as it's in this little digital world that you can control, now you're going to tell people how long they can play a damn demo. I'll put it like this, by all means, I don't know how, but people keep that demo alive. I don't know if the PC people keep it circulating and people keep playing it out, I don't know. Some way, somehow, some form, we know gamers are very resourceful when it comes to that type of thing. Keep it alive. They have a petition going, Konami's not going to listen to that, alright? The only thing you have left is that demo, if you really love that demo that much. By all means, that is something that shouldn't be taken away from you. Because Konami feels, okay, well, we want to wipe its existence completely out now so that people, in the next generation will just, I won't even say next generation, I'll say half a year from now, will forget it. That's ridiculous, Konami. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I mean, you can at least keep the demo up for people to play. And I know you don't want to do that due to the fact that people will keep asking for the full game. I get it. But when you do something like that, that is a dick move. And like I said, Konami isn't the first to do it. EA has done it as well in the past. A lot of people have done it in the past. I want to know, where is the IGDA on this as well? Like I said, where are the people who get outraged that these companies can keep pulling bullshit? Oh, I forgot. That is not, for gaming, that's not a priority. Games aren't a priority for gaming now. Yeah, company ethics on how they do things to still keep screwing gamers over isn't a priority anymore. Yeah, okay, let's move on. And more, I don't know if it's Konami news, I don't know if you want to call it that. But it's rumored news. Castlevania's spiritual successor is to be revealed soon. That's right. So I'll put the link in the info bar for that. We will see how that goes. Also, Lost Planet 3 developer Spark Unlimited is shutting down. Yep. So another developer bites the dust. Also, developers now can ask Valve to ban disruptive players. We'll see how far that goes. Hopefully they don't take it too far and then all of a sudden, as soon as somebody gets sensitive, you're gone. Hopefully it doesn't get that far. You know what I mean? We'll see, their level of, banning of disruption, depending on the player's level of how bad they are. Which more likely will be a judgment call, if you ask me. But we will see what happens. This week has just been really bad. But hopefully it'll get better. And it's not just this week, over the week. Hopefully get better. I don't see how people can get sucked up into this drama. Like, seriously, it's quite obvious these people don't have anything else to say at this point. And now, since, everything's turning against them, let's just do extreme things and mock people. Like I said, they're turning into the very same people that they judge or they hate. It's disgusting. It is. Let's get back to playing games. And let's get back to knowing what's right as a consumer. Because let's be honest here, alright? When you see people like Konami doing what they're doing, that's ridiculous. When you see, like I said, my gripes with MKX when it comes to Jason, I'm very disappointed in it. I wouldn't pay for that. I wouldn't. I mean, after seeing it, no. Like I said, they need to, like I said, it's a work in progress. They need to update him. That's how I feel personally. There's people who are very, I'm sure very satisfied with it. But I personally, being a fan, and knowing this type of stuff, I don't know. For me, it's very, very disheartening to see how they did Jason Voorhees. Anyways, I really do want to end this video. I'm pretty much spent at this point. I'm not spent as much as I am annoyed. You know what I mean? At the news. I will say this, tomorrow, I will be doing the first stream for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. I will be doing it at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you cannot make it, that is fine, due to the fact that, like I said, I will upload it via YouTube afterwards. Game that we'll be playing, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix. That's what we're going to start off with. So, hopefully I'll see you there, and if not, hopefully I'll see you when I upload it on YouTube. I'll talk to you then. Y'all be safe. I'm out.